up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Laser Show, the very, very good podcast. The very good and successful podcast. You know it. And this is the first one I am recording, so you can watch this one if you want. Or you can just listen to it if you don't want to look at my ugly face and my dumb couch. And if you're a regular listener and you're wondering where I record, this is it. I sit on my couch. Same couch that's in all my sketches and stuff. Good old Ashley furniture couch. But I'm recording this one visually because I wanna promote it more because I think it's a tale that people want to hear. People have been reaching out. I'm going to talk about the June Joke Jamboree, which was a stand-up tour. It's a tour. Tour is kind of a strong word, but it was a few shows for over a couple of weeks. And during that tour, I lost my luggage via Spirit Airlines, and it was a crazy saga, and I was posting about it on Instagram with a crazy ending. And a lot of people reached out. Probably 4 or 5 people reached out and said, man, I've been following this. This is what a journey. I got to hear all about this. Well, I figure I'll tell it. And I was wondering if I should I wanted to do a podcast episode about the June Joke Jamboree. Anyway, because I haven't toured in like years, and I figured it'd be fun, and it was fun. It's interesting either way. But then the Spirit Airlines thing happened, and that was a whole crazy wrench. So I was wondering if I should do just a separate episode about that, but I decided, nah. They go so hand in hand, the two situations. I actually hate this. I don't like recording this visually. I don't like I keep looking into the camera. Like it's a little presentational. This is going to be the only one I film, probably. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe the next episode I do in 2025. Who knows? But anyway, so the June Joke Jamboree was a string of shows that I put together really myself. I'm trying to take the bull by the horns a bit more. I'm trying to take the bull by the horns. It's a Red Bull I'm holding. I just took a nap and I woke up, and so what was the point of the nap? I was just going to drink a Red Bull anyway. I like the taste of the things, really. So I put together a collection of shows because I'm trying to take the bull by the horns. 2022 was goddamn awful, career-wise. It was a bad year for old Rye. I did no road stuff. I did 5 shows in Kansas in December. That just a nice guy flew me out and had me do. Just a nice guy. And that was the only road stuff I did all freaking year. And 2021 obviously was kind of still coming out of COVID. 2020 was obviously nothing. So I haven't done a tour. Must have been probably 2018. A tour. And tour is a strong word. I did some shows. But I want to kind of shit or get off the pot here career-wise. I feel like I'm at a bit of a crossroads, not knowing what the hell is going on or what I really wanted. What are my real passions? Do I have any? I don't know. Maybe let's push harder with comedy and see if I can, I don't know, find something. So late last year, I posted on Instagram. I said, hey, I want to hit the road more in 2023. If you have a venue, hit me up or hit up my managers. And a few people reached out. I think they said 6 people reached out. Not great numbers, 6. Kind of hoped it would be more than that, but the first person to reach out with a date. This date, June 10th, I want Ryan to come to Asheville. There's a lovely woman named Melissa Hahn. She runs Model Face Comedy out there in Asheville and the surrounding area. She goes, we want Ryan, June 10th. And we say, boom, let's do it, and let's build around that. So then we booked Raleigh a couple nights before. Oh, good nights in Raleigh? I've always wanted to perform there. I love going to North Carolina. Anyway, I'm a big Panthers fan, so I just love being there. I love going to the hotel and they have a Panthers clock. I stay in shitty hotels. A nice hotel has a nice clock, but the La Quinta in Charlotte by the airport has a cool Panthers clock, and it's old logo too, 2011 and previous. We changed our logo, but you see my apartment. Look at my goddamn apartment. By the way, I went on a date recently, a Bumble date. And the girl said, I sent your Instagram or whatever to my friends and asked them, do they think that I should go on a date with you? And they said no because you're a Panthers fan or something, so that's a red flag? How averse are people to letting their friends find love. Honey, your friends don't want you to be with anyone at that point. And I get it. I love when my friends break up with their girlfriends. It rules. Even if I liked them, it's just good to get them back. Yeah. We got John back. Yes. Carol's back. Tim's back. You know, it's fun. But I hope none of them, they're all happy. But I do get it. But Jesus, it's a red flag that I'm a Panthers fan? Like, why? Why? Because I'm sad? Because I've been sad most of my life? Is that it? But I digress. That really pissed me off. She said that's like a red flag. Also, you gotta be able to know that that's not. You gotta know that your friends are fucking stupid. Book Raleigh. Then I have a great relationship at Dead Crow in Wilmington. Boom, book Wilmington on that Wednesday. Bada bing, bada boom. Ooh, I got a friend that has a show and has a club in Eastern Tennessee. Reach out to him. He gives me a night. Boom, I got 4 shows. That was really a block, the biggest block I could make. 4 nights. Man. But I was proud of it. DC reached out. Oh, this wonderful man named Sean Joyce in DC just opened a new club. It's sick. Check it out if you're in the area. It's called Hotbed. He gave me a full-ass weekend of shows. 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. I don't like doing those. That's where the money is, but I hate doing full weekends. But you got to do them. Jeepers creepers, you got to do them. But I get really tired and stressed out and so sweaty. But that was like the weekend before. So then I post on Instagram, hey, here's the shows I've booked so far. Feel free to add to this. So then a couple guys in New England reach out. Bada bing, bada boom, I get a Block Island show. And then 4 days before that, I get a Worcester, Mass. No, flip that. Block Island, and then 3 days, and then Worcester. So that's it. Then the tour is complete. I couldn't book any more shows other than that. So in this tour, I have 2 blocks of 3 days of nothing. So it wasn't a very well booked. That's not ideal. You don't want 3 days of just, you have nothing. It should be ideally show. Maybe 1 day off to rest and pray. But I had 3, at least the first one was in. It was between Block Island and Worcester, so I got to spend time with my family. So this tour kicks off. And then the second one was where all hell broke loose, and we'll talk about that later. First show was Block Island, killer show. They do it. It's at the Yellow Kittens. It's a big bar on Block Island, which is an island off the coast of Rhode Island. Double island situation. And it's a sick bar. Like 200 people came out. So they do this show 3 times a year. Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, and Columbus Day weekend. Because they have big crowds at this island. People are getting on the ferry. Show was sick. I was slinging koozies. I made like $100 in koozie sales. I was slinging some koozies. Had a great time. And the ferry on the way, it's just like you take like a shitty ferry. And I've never been on a ferry that this has happened, but the ferry on the way there was great. I actually took a nap. There was no one on it on this ferry. And on the way back, everyone was on the ferry because it was Memorial Day. And it was really high winds, and the waves were chopping. And so we got to the ferry, like we were at the last, it was me and 2 other comics, so we were like the last people on the ferry. You know us. And you know us. And we get on, and the only seats we can find are like on the outside, on the top deck, like far, but towards the railing at the end. And the waves are so high, they're splashing the ferry, and we were getting soaked. Just fucking like Splash Mountain soaked, just dripping wet. And we're laughing. It's not a big deal, but it's not great. It sucks. We have like our stuff on us. So after a while, we're like, we gotta like, let's not be here. If there's no other place to sit, so like, we gotta go at least just like stand in like the stairwell inside. So that's what we did. There's no seats inside, but we went and stood in the stairwell because we were so tired of getting pelted with waves. And we go inside, and it is like, there's so many, everyone's throwing up, like left and right. People are throwing up into bags and into who knows where. There was a guy in a hall, when we were in the hallway, I guess he was in a bathroom. I assume he had to be in a bathroom to be throwing up the way he was throwing up. I've never heard a man throw up. It was so loud, and there was so much coming out. You could hear that there was so much. It was just like, blah, 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 blah. And and I don't like puke, but I was dying laughing because I've never heard a guy puke like that before. It was like a Team America vomit. It sounded like, and he was like yelling. You don't have to like yell. We got up, one of the other comics goes, that was dramatic. You don't have to yell when you puke. Try not to like yell. Like when you sneeze, you can not yell when you sneeze. Some people just do it. People just go, but some people go, Chah! You don't have to do that. It's funny. It makes me laugh. So this guy was making me laugh. But that was like, it was like the last boat out and then some sort of a apocalypse situation. People were throwing up off the side of the ferry, and because it was just, people can't deal with that type of movement. And I feel for you if you can't. I had no problem with it. But some people just can't handle it. So people were throwing up left and right. So that was one of the memories from that show that certainly sticks in my mind. And then I had 3 days off of nothing to do. But I'm back home in Massachusetts, so I got to hang out with my family and see family. That 3 days off was at least like, I counted it as a family trip. So I'm not coming home for Christmas. And so then on the 5th day was a show in Worcester. It's these guys, Woot and Annie. It's these guys, Brian and Sean, and they're trying to get the comedy scene going in Worcester. So if you live in the Worcester area, go check out these shows. There's like no comedy club in Worcester, which is like a pretty big city. It should have at least like a little bit of a comedy, it's a perfect city for comedy. New England is such a great comedy area. People are just they're New Englanders. They're mean and sarcastic, goofy motherfuckers. Get a comedy club in Worcester. So this club was at a wedding venue called the White Room. And it was one of the comics, Brian, the last time he was there he was the best man at his brother's wedding. It's like a full-blown wedding venue, this place. And I performed, and my family came, my parents and my sister. I had some old college friends come. Gigantic room. Gargantuan room with there was maybe 35, 40 people at the show, and all the seats are concentrated in just the corner of this cavernous as hell wedding venue. But it was a blast. I had so much fun. Huge. And Eddie Pepitone is going to be performing there. That's the next comedy show they're doing. I don't know if that's going to fill. It is a big room. I don't know if anyone could fill that room. But I did okay. And I slung some more koozies. I made $130 in koozies. That one I had a lot of friends and family at. And they know that I'm not doing well, so they insist on giving me money, even though I go, no, please. They simply insist, and I don't mind it. Yum, give me that money. So yeah, I'm gonna keep mentioning the koozies because you'll see. Basically, when I lost my bag, I couldn't sell my koozies anymore. That's it. That's really it, and that was a real bummer because I was making an extra $100 or so bucks a night with these koozies. I sell koozies. If you didn't know what I'm talking about, by the way, I've been selling koozies, and I accidentally bought like way too many. So I've been really trying to sling them. Anyway, Worcester show is great. Check them out, Woot and Annie. And then I hop on a plane and I go to D.C. and that's a big weekend. And I'm really not dreading it, but really nervous. I haven't done a club weekend since November. Oh my God! I wonder if you could hear that in the microphone. No way. It seemed like a small bug that just went like all the way in my ear. It sounded like a mosquito. I don't know why I reacted quite like that. I'm a little high. But man, that went right in my ear. I fucking hate mosquitoes. And I've been getting bit. Man, I feel like there's rarely mosquitoes here in LA. That's one of my favorite things about this place. That and all the hookers. But you kind of forget about when I went to North Carolina, I was getting eaten alive by those motherfuckers. Anywho, DC was great. It's a club called Hotbed. And it's on this sick part of town called Adams Morgan. It's a place called Adams Morgan. That's the neighborhood. And it's a really cool club with great air conditioning. And it was hot as hell. And guess how many pairs of shorts I remembered to pack on this 3-week summer trip through the Southeast? 0. I brought 0 shorts and a bunch of pants, all my pants, and a winter jacket. Like my nice Old Navy winter jacket. My favorite jacket. No shorts. No bathing suit. Just like didn't plan well. It was so hot. So I had to go buy shorts. Well, I had to buy a lot of things. You know what I mean? So I do my shows. My shows in DC. Anything notable happen? Anything notable? I don't know. There was a group of 12 dudes come to the last show and they go, dude, we're a group of 12 dudes. We're going to sit in the front row. Give it to us. Give it to us. If there's anything, I can't imagine a worse thing to hear as a comic. Don't say that. They ended up being they were so nice and they didn't heckle. They were cool. I made fun of one guy's shoes and that was really about it. I didn't really give it to him. One guy, I roasted his shoes a little bit, but other than that, I'm not really a give it to you kind of comic. I'm also not very good. But anyway, they were great. Thanks for coming, fellas. Just a group of dudes sat in the front row. They were just duding around. It wasn't like, we certainly weren't giving it to each other. They were giving me plenty of laughs. They were nice guys. That was about the best show of the weekend. If you came to the late show Saturday, hey, just so you guys know, you were the best show of the weekend. And then all hell broke loose, folks. Because after DC, I have my second 3-day break. And then I have a show on a Wednesday at Dead Crow in Wilmington, North Carolina. So I have 3 days of nothing to do between DC and Wilmington, North Carolina. And I have been trying for a couple months now to fill those 3 days. And I booked this tour really, ideally you don't want to book a tour on your own. I am talking to an agent in a couple days, and he's going to hopefully do that stuff. That's like a stand-up, like a touring agent. But I don't have one. And my managers are, they've been doing their thing. That's not really up to them to be doing that. So I kind of did a lot of it on my own. And I would send people to them, if people reached out to me on Instagram, I would send to them. But not a ton of people reached out. So I was really just reaching out to clubs and comics that I would just look up in Virginia or Baltimore or elsewhere in North Carolina. I reached out to a comic that was performing in Charlotte on one of the nights, and I was like, can I just open or do a guest spot? And wouldn't you know, she never responded nor followed me back on Instagram. I'm not going to name names, but it's been a couple years, and she follows Jack and Ahmed, so I feel like it's a personal thing. But that's neither here nor there. No one can hook me up. And poor Melissa Hahn, who books Model Face Comedy in Asheville, she's reaching out to people she knows in Virginia and people at Don't Tell Comedy. By the way, if you don't know Don't Tell Comedy, they're great. They're taking over the country. It's these speakeasy kind of secret comedy shows where they don't tell you who's performing. They just send you the location the day of, and then you go. You get on their mailing list, and they have shows all over the country. So anyway, she's reaching out, and they're going global. Check them out. Don'tTellComedy.com. They're good to me. No one else is in this fucking town. But anywho, so I have 3 days. They're reaching out to people in Richmond and bada bing, bada boom. No, I can't fill it. Eventually, I get a response for one of the days. Thank goodness for this woman, Patty, who books the Comedy Cabana in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She says, I can have you the day before that I'm going up to Wilmington, and it's an hour from Wilmington. Perfect. Boom. I just filled my Tuesday with a nice little show. Great. And it's just a guest spot. I assume would probably be unpaid. She said 7 to 10 minutes. But she's the only one who responded. And I sent a bunch of emails, Instagram messages, being like, hey, I'm just passing through, if I could just hop on a show. Nothing, dude. But Patty responded. Thank you, Patty. She said, I'll let you do 10 minutes on the Greg Warren show. I didn't know Greg Warren. But it wasn't up to him. It was Patty had me do just a guest spot. And can't find any other shows the other 2 days, Sunday and Monday. So fuck it. Never filled those days. So I decide on Monday, I have a friend that lives in Baltimore. My friend Ashlyn lives in Baltimore. I said, it's right by D.C. I said, okay, that day I'll go to Baltimore. I'll get lunch with Ashlyn. And that night, I'll come back to the hotel. And I'll just have an off night where I just write. And I watched the NBA Finals. There was a game that night. And I'll just write and catch up with on things, respond to some emails, organize my suitcase, ironically, just in time to fucking lose its ass. So that was my nice little Baltimore night. Chill. Baltimore's fucking awful. Baltimore sucks. I'm sure there's cool parts. The place we went to lunch is I did an overly excited tourist video in Baltimore, and I went to some places in that town that are really like The Wire. It's really just a yucky, yucky town. And I did stay in a Motel 6 by the train station, so it was like, my Uber driver picked me up and goes, "Why are you staying in this part of town?" The Baltimore accent is fucking crazy, by the way. It's almost like Canadian or something. Wow, it's like Southern mixed with Canadian. I don't even really remember it. In this part of town. Why are you staying in this part of town? That's not it. It's something, I don't know. It's something like that. Google it. Fucking Google it. Okay, I'm not some sort of an SNL guy. But anywho, so on Monday, so the plan is on Monday. I haven't even gotten to Spirit. How long have I been talking? Jeepers Creepers. 20 minutes already? Oh shit, sorry folks. This is gonna be, I knew this would be a long one. That's why I'm filming it. This is a big one. The fucking June Joke Jamboree Spirit Airlines story. So I get on the plane in Baltimore on Monday. The plan is fly to Charlotte, through Orlando, lay over in Orlando, go to Charlotte. I know. It doesn't make sense. That happens all the time. And then get to Charlotte at 7 p.m., rent a car, drive to Myrtle Beach on Monday night, get there late, and then spend Tuesday daytime in Myrtle Beach, exploring, going to the beach. Then at night, do that show at the Comedy Cabana. Boom. And then drive up to Wilmington. That's the plan. So I arrive in Charlotte, 7 p.m. Actually, let me start this was the weirdest flight of my life to begin with. Because I get on this plane. The plane fills up. Spirit Airlines flight. I'm in an aisle seat. First of all, I get to my seat, and a guy is just sitting in my seat. And I go, "That's my seat." And he goes, all right. I thought it was worth a shot. And then he moved to the middle seat. I'm like, what? It's a full flight. There's so many people clearly getting on this. Why would you just I don't know. Sit in the middle seat, and then if no one comes, then move to the aisle, you fucking idiot. So I sit in my seat, blah, blah, blah. Everyone gets in there, the plane fills up. And then they make an announcement on the plane intercom. And they go, "If there is Orion Aflanagan, please ring your service bell." Ain't nobody can pronounce my name, by the way, if you don't see the apostrophe, which is like on an airline ticket. It's hard to know that that's an O apostrophe Flanagan. So I get it, but also it's not that hard. You're just stupid, especially if you work for Spirit Airlines. Fuck off, you're stupid. Please ring your service bell, and that's my name. And I'm like, so I say to the guy next to me, because we have a relationship at this point, we've spoken already, and I go, I was like, "That's my name," and he goes, "Yeah," and I was like, "I guess I should ring the bell." He goes, "Yeah, you're supposed to ring the bell." I go, "I've never done this before." I rang the service bell. And a guy comes in, so a guy comes over, not even a flight attendant. This is the guy from inside the airport that you give your thing to. You give your your ticket to, and he goes, boop, that guy. Or your phone or whatever. He comes onto the plane and walks over to me in row 30, and looks at our row and goes, "Which one of you is Ryan?" And I go, "Me." And he goes, "Okay." And he turns and he walks away. And he leaves the plane. And that was it. And the guy next to me goes, "I guess he just wanted to make sure you're a person?" I guess. What was that about? What I'm thinking now is it has to have something to do with the bag. It has to have had something to do with the bag. Good sentence, Rye. It has to have had something to do with the bag. Because I think they never put a tag on my bag. I don't know. So that was kind of odd, but I didn't think much of it. I was like, that's kind of weird. I don't like that. But when I tried to log in to check in at the kiosk when I got there, the kiosk wasn't working. So I had to check in with the person at the front desk where you give them your bag. I was going to just check in myself and then tag the bag myself and then give them my bag, weigh it and give them my bag at self bag drop. But I couldn't do that. I had to log in, check in. I keep saying log in. I had to check in with them, and they put the tag on my bag, and they give me my ticket, and they say, "Have a good flight. There's your gate over there." And they give you the little baggage tag receipt thing. Bag claim ticket. And they did that. And then I go and I get on the plane. I had that weird situation with the announcement. Another weird thing that happened is the flight attendant, the one who was doing like the presentation of the show, how to do the seatbelts. You know how they have that, like, when they do the seatbelt example, they have that like small, like little example seatbelt, and it's just like a foot long seatbelt that has both ends, and they show you how to click it and then how to unclick it, and it's just like a little fake seatbelt, a demo seatbelt. So she does the whole demonstration, and then as she's walking down the aisle with like her little bag of stuff for the presentation, which is like the little air bag and stuff, air mask, oxygen mask, that's the word. All her stuff is in a little bag, and she's walking by, and a woman in the row in front of me, as she's walking by, she goes, "Excuse me, can I have the little seatbelt?" And the flight attendant just goes, "Oh yeah." Like it wasn't the weirdest question ever asked. She takes the little seatbelt out of the bag and just gives it to the woman. And then walked away, and that was it. Like that was completely normal. She's like, "Excuse me, can I have the little the demo seatbelt, please?" I guess like maybe for like an extension, that's the only logical thing I could think. Or maybe she had a little kid that wants to play with it. But as far as I could see, she just took it and then just sat there. What the fuck? So this was like a weird flight. The guy in my seat, the announcement, the lady taking the demo seatbelt. Stuff was going awry. Stuff was going amiss. Then I go to Orlando. Boo! I get a big water and a Nature Valley bar and some trail mix at Hudson News. And then I get on my plane to Charlotte. I get to Charlotte, go to baggage claim, and my bag ain't coming out. And I'm waiting for a while. I waited for a long time when it was clearly not coming out. It was so long that the screen that says like the flights that are, and it'll have like 3 flights on it. It's like all these flights are coming on. All the bags are here from these 3 flights. This is the carousel for these flights. And Spirit Airlines was on there, and it was so long that it went off the screen. It was like, you're not here for Spirit Airlines. That flight was a while ago. So I waited for a while, and then I go, my bag's just not coming out. That just fucking sucks, man. Like, it's just not good. It's not good when that happens. So I'm just really pissed off and bummed out. And I have a long drive. I landed at 7 p.m., and I'm driving 4 hours to go to Myrtle Beach. So I'm going to get to Myrtle Beach at like midnight. I got to rent a car, that whole process, and drive to Myrtle Beach and get to my hotel like midnight. Like, that sucks. So I'm like stressed out. I'm like, fuck, where's my fucking bag? Ugh. So I go to like the ticket people. That's where you're supposed to go. It says if your bag is missing, go see these people. It's the people that like the check-in people. I got to go upstairs to I went to the Spirit Airlines lost luggage room office. They're closed. So I had to go upstairs to ticketing and talk to these people. 2 women. 2 black women. 1 American black, 1 British black. Doesn't matter. Just painting a picture. British black. I love a British. You're right. You don't see that a whole lot. It's great though. Idris Elba. Stuff like that. They were there. I say, hey, my bag didn't come out on the carousel. She goes, was it from the flight from Orlando? I go, that just landed? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it didn't just land. It's been like almost an hour. She goes, you might want to wait more. It's still coming out. I'm like, and I go, no, it's not. The Spirit Airlines isn't even on the TV anymore. So no, it's not, might not still come out. It's, the fucking machinery has stopped. The carousel is still going, but the thing that leads to the carousel is off. And then they got to buzz the thing and then it starts again. It's been off for there's been a couple flights gone through since Spirit, lady. She goes, okay, give me your baggage ticket, your little receipt they give you when they tag your bag. Or when you tag your own bag. But they tagged my bag. A man did. And I give her my receipt, and she's taking it, she's looking it up. And she goes, are you Diane? And I was like, no. And she goes, well, this says Diane. And she hands me the ticket, and the ticket says Diane Arnold. And this has just been in my fucking wallet. I didn't think to check the fucking receipt that they handed to me when they took my bag. I just stuffed it in my wallet. I go, thank you. Now I know. Oh, now every time forever am I going to check that receipt and make sure it has my fucking name on it. The right name and the right destination. Always do that. Because it said Diane Arnold. So what happened was they clearly, I guess, when they tagged my bag, I gave them my bag, weighed it, and then they took it away and put a tag on it, printed out a tag and put it on it. It was Diane Arnold's fucking tag. And they gave me Diane Arnold's receipt. So they look it up. They go, first they say, your flight's in Orlando. I go, well, why is that? I am here. And then they say, your name's Diane? I go, no. And they go, oh, okay, thank God. What's your name? And I'm like, Ryan O'Flanagan. They look that up. They go, oh, your bag's also in Orlando. And I'm like, what has happened? What I assume had happened was, so my bag gets tagged in with Diane Arnold's tag, flies to Orlando. So Diane Arnold's final destination was Orlando. Her bag, my bag, must have got to Orlando. It's going around the carousel. No one's taking it because it's not anyone's bag. It's my bag with my little luggage, my own personal luggage tag on it. That's the Phases of the Moon that I just bought on Amazon. I just bought this suitcase at Ross Dress for less, $130, and this nice new luggage tag that's got the Phases of the Moon and like mountains. It's like pink and purple. I really like it. And it's got my information on it. My name, my number, my email. It's got that on it. So anyway, so no one took that bag because it's no one's bag. So it probably got brought to the unclaimed luggage area, and no one ever took it. So they say, it's going to be on the next flight. I say, when's the next flight? They go, tomorrow morning, buddy. And I say, no, I have to go rent a car right now, and I drive to Myrtle Beach. I have a hotel booked and a show tomorrow. I cannot, and it's 4 hours away. I'm not waiting for my bag to come and them to get it to me, even when it gets to the airport. That's a fucking shit show. Ugh. So I go, I'm just freaking out. What can I do? They go, nothing. There's nothing you can do. Next flight is until tomorrow morning. I'm like, well, can they ship it to me? Can someone drive it, please? So I got to go rent my car. And the car rental I made that was really cheap was for a electric vehicle. They go, do you know this is... Also, don't be mean. These fucking rent-a-car people, come on. You know how fucking confusing it is to rent a car and how you're at the air, you're so stressed out, there's a line of people. Don't be mean. This bitch. She goes, the last chance to... It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock maybe. And she goes, the last chance to make a reservation is actually 7 p.m. Sorry. You're like, you'll have to go somewhere else. I go, I made my reservation at like noon. Actually, noon today via my phone. She goes, oh, okay, then you're good. Oh, I am? And then she was just upselling me on all these things I didn't ask. I go, no, take that off. What's the least amount of money I can pay to take a car and drive it? The reservation I made was for electric. She goes, you want electric? And I was like, is it a pain in the ass? She was like, yeah. So she eventually. She hooked it up with that insight. But she was being rude before and rolling her eyes at my dumb ass. Anyway, I get my car. I go to my hotel. The La Quinta with the Panthers clock on the wall. And I think that tomorrow I'm going to get a call that they got my bag. And I'm like, don't fucking deliver it to me. I'm going to come get it. I don't trust you fucking people. So I get up early just in case. I don't want to miss the call. I get up early. They don't call. I'm calling them. They don't have it. And I'm like, I don't have any clothes. I have one shirt, one pair of pants. And that's it. And I had my little bag that I brought on the plane. Luckily, it had my laptop, my phone charger, my sunglasses, a hat, my book. That's really it. A granola bar. Oh, my trail mix. And that's about it. So I guess I got to I'm looking up. They sent me an email like, sorry, I had to fill out a claim that I lost my bag. They're like, sorry, you can buy some interim expenses, some reasonably priced clothes, shoes, and toiletries. And then we'll reimburse you for those interim expenses. So I'm like, shit, they don't have my bag. I was going to go get it and then drive to Myrtle Beach. But I guess I'm just not fucking going to Myrtle Beach today. So I go to Target, buy like 2 or 3 days worth of clothes, couple shirts. I go get some shoes. I got some nice shoes. I got some Jordans because I figure that's what's reasonably priced. I don't spend money. I'm not a shoe guy, so I never like. But a lot of people buy like $100. They were like $140 or something. I think it was like 120 plus tax, and to me that's like no way. I spend like maybe $70 on shoes, like really max. I don't really care about shoes, but I think that's normal to spend that much money on shoes. I'm just cheap with shoes, so I'm like that's reasonably priced, and it's for work. I have to do my little stand-up shows, and I gotta look. I can be like, well, I always wear nice Jordans. They were really nice. They were cool. I bought those, some clothes, bunch of toiletries, all the shit you just need, everything. You don't even think. I kept going through the aisles and being like, oh yeah, shit, nail clippers, floss, shit like that. Like face soap, face lotion, face. Stuff for this old face. To make it shine, to make it look good. Just a bunch of shit. And then I guess I just go back to the hotel and I wait for word. I emailed poor Patty and tell her, Patty, guess what? I'm not coming. Not making it to the show tonight. I had to cancel a show. Luckily, it was just a little 10-minute set, guest spot at the Comedy Cabana. But that would have been really cool to go to. I've never been to Myrtle Beach. Murder Beach, they call it. I guess it's not nice. But I like that sometimes. I like touristy, not nice. I don't like Baltimore, not nice. No offense. I love Baltimore if you'll have me at Magooby's Joke House, which didn't respond. I'll come anytime. Seaman-wise. But folks, so I had to cancel that show, and that sucks. And I'm like, I have like an actual headlining show I can't miss. I gotta just give up on being in Charlotte and getting my bag. I gotta just leave. I gotta leave and hit the road, and if my bag arrives, I have like 4 days of shows now in a row that I'm driving distance within a few hours of Charlotte. So if my bag gets to the airport, I'm just going to drive to the fucking airport during the daytime and come back. I just want my stuff so bad. This bag I'm gone for 3 weeks, really. And it had my 20 favorite shirts. And it has all my koozies, which is my merch that I sell after my shows. And it's got my fucking drive, my 500 gig drive that's got every sketch I've ever done on it. And all my pants, both of my pairs of pants were in it. Both of my other pairs of pants. And all my little creams and potions. Just little shit. My umbrella, little shit. And my fucking keys to get into my building and drive my car and things like that. Just little stuff. That just adds up. But really, it's my fucking 20 best shirts. And they're not valuable shirts, but they're my shirts. They're all my shirts. My main going out shirt was in that bag. And maybe like my nicest shirt. That I wear to sometimes I wear to nice things, like my nice shirt. It's it's almost like shiny. Hard to tell what color it even is. It's just it's just like a mystery color and texture. It's kind of like reddish, but it's kind of shiny. So it's like, oh, it's gold. Is it red? It's like that dress. Anywho, all my shit. So I got to just fucking go to Wilmington now. I got to say goodbye, Charlotte. Hopefully someone calls and I can come back and get my goddamn bag, but no one ever does. And I go to Wilmington. Wilmington's the fucking best. That's where I filmed the movie Birdies, and I've done several shows at this club called Dead Crow, and I shot a pilot there once. I've been to Wilmington so many times, so I got so many friends there, and people came out, and I did a straight door deal, and I made bank. I did great at that show, but also I would have sold so many koozies. It was a straight door deal, 60% of the door, plus a little bit of a travel, set travel expense. I made a nice little chunk in Wilmington, but I would have made fucking bank on those guys. So many people would have bought koozies. They're so supportive there, and they're drinkers, heavy drinkers. But it was such a good show. Go check out Dead Crow in Wilmington. Sick, sick spot. They do improv shows there too. All sorts of crap. Great, great venue. So that was great. And all right, now I'm talking about Spirit Airlines for half. I'm drunk as hell. I think that was the drunkest I got, was Wilmington. I was really hungover the next day. That's how you know. I get drunk. That's the thing. It's when I go on tour, boy, oh boy, do I get drunk. It's just more fun. Yeah, it's just, what am I gonna not? But it's a terror on the body. It makes the time go by faster. We're not gonna do these like 45, 50-minute sets. That's a long time to be talking, and I hate just seeing people just be bored. And you don't really notice it as much when you're drunk as hell. And it just makes it more fun and loosey-goosey, and the time passes quicker. That's really the big thing. So I'm just getting hammer drunk at all these shows. And I have so many friends in Wilmington, and they drink like hell, and we go to the Blue Post, best bar in Wilmington. Check out Blue Post. Anywho, the next day, I got to go to Raleigh, good nights. I didn't realize till like a week before. I was looking at the calendar and it said Ryan O'Flanagan in the side room, the 815 room or something like that. I'm like, what? I'm not in the main room? No offense taken, but I'm not. That's what I thought was happening. Who's in the main room? I look in the main room and it's Pete Davidson. And Pete Davidson is doing shows all week at this club, like 3 shows a night for like a whole week. They're calling it Pete Week. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll see him. I actually met him once. We actually auditioned for SNL together. Fun little story about me and Pete Davidson. That's not about me and Pete Davidson. I met him and he was nice. He said, hi, I'm Pete. And I said, hey, I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you. And that was it. But that was in the hallowed halls of SNL. Oh, I'm not doing an episode about that. If that's what you're thinking, no. But I did go out for SNL twice, and I made it really far. And 2 times, a long time ago, 2013, 2014. And I met Pete in 2014. And I thought that'd be a nice little in. If I get to see him, I'm going to go, hey, we actually met. Now he's famous as hell. I could have had that life. Nah, I don't have the confidence. I would have killed myself by now if I was that famous at all. Or if I had to have sex with Kim Kardashian, I would fucking kill myself. So I couldn't do it. Me personally, I couldn't do it. But anyway, so I was kind of excited for it. And I have family in Raleigh, so I had 2 cousins come out to the show. And I'm in a tiny little side room show, and people are just lined around the block for Pete. Doing 3 shows at night. Exhausting. Can't imagine it. I am in the side room, and hey, honestly, I think the most interesting man in Raleigh came to my show. I had a Native American man in the front row whose name was Crazy Bear. And that was his legal name on his license. His name was Jonathan Crazy Bear. I guess one of the names has to be like Jonathan. It can't be Crazy Bear, Wacky Pants. But anyway, his name was Crazy Bear. So Pete Davidson got all the people and all the babes. Oh my God, these babes in this line that would just think they're going to have a shot to date Pete Davidson. I want to be the next. I want to be on Twitter, on Vulture. These fucking goobers that don't like comedy. Oh boy. I went to the shows. I went to his show, and you could tell his crowd. They're there because he's a famous person. But these aren't comedy fans. What? You can't fool me. But anyway, he was selling out. They had to add like an extra show that night. My goodness. My show went great. It went fine. I was really, really hungover, if you can recall, so I kind of took it easy that night, which was probably for the best. It was great. My hand is shaking. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it must have been just getting weak. I got a bad shoulder. I threw my shoulder out at a carnival throwing like baseballs to try to break glass bottles, and I have to go to a doctor on Thursday. It's in a lot of pain. Maybe that's the next episode. Anywho. Show's great. Then I went to watch Pete's set, and it was pretty good. It was fine. And I was asked, after my set, I went, and I was like, Pete hadn't gone up yet. And I asked the manager, can I go meet Pete? And he's like, no. Pete's got like 6 bodyguards there. And I was like, okay. He's a stand-up comedian. What are we doing here? I don't think that's necessary. But anyway, whatever. They wouldn't let me meet him. But I watched his set. Oh, but then they say the headliners, the openers is like Jordan Rock is one of the. And I'm like, Jordan Rock, that's Chris Rock's brother. We did and that's not what he is. He's more than that. He's his own person. He's my friend. We did a Paramore cruise together. It's called Parahoy, and it was a cruise that Paramore was performing on. It was like a music festival cruise, and Jordan and I were the comedians, and we also had to judge the fucking belly flop contest with Paramore. And the producers told us, hey, Paramore gives everyone 10s, so you guys have to like give everyone like 1s and 2s. So I'm like, oh, great, cool. Make the whole the water bus, make the whole ship hate us before we do our shows. And that's what people were booing us, because we were being like 2, and they were like, fuck you, who are you? I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, that's how I know Jordan Rock. So I go, can I go meet Jordan? He's in the green room. They go, yeah, you can go to the green room. So I go, Jordan's in there. Jordan Rock is in there. I'm like, dude, what's up? And then Mike Lawrence, another comic I know, is in there. I'm like, oh shit, you're opening for Pete Davidson? What the fuck? All week. Good to see them. And they're doing this whole run. After Raleigh, they were going to Providence to do the same thing. 3 shows a night for like a whole week. What the fuck, dude? Can you imagine doing that? If I have 2 shows in a night, I am a wreck. And I had to do that in D.C., and I was a wreck. I feel terrible. My voice is gone. I'm so tired. I'm in a bad mood. I'm drunk. They're doing 3 a night. Every single night. Not just for a weekend. But anyway. And I go back to the bar. I'm talking to the bar. People at the bar. And then I come back to like the backstage where like the green room is. And Pete's on stage. I go, oh shit, Pete's on stage. I watch Pete's set. He's pretty good. He's absolutely fine. Likeable guy. Really does not, at least when I saw, didn't acknowledge his fame, and doesn't seem like he doesn't act famous. He acts very much like a regular guy. He does stand up like me and my friends. Just a fucking regular guy, kind of. Stoner kind of bro. Really doesn't lean into the comedy, which made me like him more. Kind of just did his little jokes. He's kind of whatever little jokes, working on some jokes, he hasn't done stand-up in 5 years, and he's getting back into it. So he's like anxious, nervous, anxiety, which he talked about later when he came off stage and walked by me, and I was like, good set, man. And he goes, oh, hey, dude. Definitely not knowing who I am, but I think I was standing by the green room, so he thought he should know me. He thought maybe he met me before. He does not know me, but he goes, what's up, man? And so I'm like, oh, that's my in. Now I can get into the green room. But I waited. Then I asked the fucking security guy after like 10 minutes. I was like, can I go in there and like say hi to him? And he was like, yeah. And I went in, and same with the other comics. Oh, and by the way, at one point when he was on stage, I went into the green room because they were smoking weed. Anytime you open the window to the green room, just smoke was coming out. All the openers were smoking so much weed. And Pete was, I think, afterwards. I know afterwards. But I went in, I was like, I kind of want some weed. And I go in, and Jordan Rock has a fucking, whoops, I don't know if I can say this. Look, someone had something to smoke. And I took it, and I smoked it, and I got really, really high. And but everyone was really high, so I was like, whatever. Kind of fit the vibe. At this point, everyone in this whole area of the club is so fucking high. If you sat close to the green room, that whole side of the room was so high. But I got very high. And then, yeah, Pete goes by, then he goes in. And I go in and I talk to him. I was like, sup, man, I'm Ryan. I go, I'm trying to justify why I can be in the room with a celebrity. And I go, hey, what? I'm Ryan. I was headlining the side room, which I would never say that. Usually I would say I was performing in the side room, just so you would know who I am. But because it's like, at first wasn't even allowed to meet him, I feel like I have to justify why I can be in this room. So I go, I headlined, which is an obnoxious term. I go, I headlined the side room. Gross thing to say. And then he had just taken a hit of weed, and he just starts coughing. He goes, there's a side room? Ooh, humbling response from Pete. I go, yeah, it was not fun. It was, though. I was being humble. It was very fun. It was a great show. And I go, yeah, no, it was good. And then so we're talking, and he's like, yeah, nice guy. We were just talking chill, laughing, joking about things. And yeah, he's a very cool dude. He's really one of the guys. He loved my boys, the Ham Boys. Little group chat. Can't say the other word that's in the name of the group chat. It's offensive. But he was a cool dude. And at one point he goes, he was like, I want to do something weird. Wow, that's kind of good. That's kind of how he sounds. I want to do something weird. Not like, I've lost it. I don't want to do the same Raleigh shit. I want to do something. Let's do something out there. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Some guys start talking about like museums. I was like, museums? That's not that weird. And then we're talking for a while, and it's like 12:40 a.m. And I just go, it gets all quiet. Everyone's really high. And it got all quiet, and I just go, so do you guys want to do something like weird and crazy or what? And then whoops, hold on, my mic, right before the big punchline, my mic fell out of the thing. I go, do you guys want to do something like weird and crazy or what? There's like 8 people in the room. And then Pete goes, oh no, I was talking about like tomorrow, daytime. I'm going to bed right now. And I was like, oh yeah. For sure. It is. He just did 3 shows, headlined 3 shows. He's so tired. And I'm just that guy that goes, you want to do something crazy? Should we do something crazy? That guy with blood red eyes, high as hell. Anyway, then he gets up and he leaves. Gives us a fucking pound. Look at his merch, by the way. I think I have, yeah, look at this. If you're watching and not just listening, this is his merch. He sells lighters that say, I stole this from Pete Davidson. And some of the letters are in capitals and some of them are in lowercase. And there's no rhyme or reason. I tried to figure out if it was like a code or something. As far as I can tell, it's not. So, shitty merch. That's shitty merch. Lighters are a great idea. I should sell lighters because I do so much stuff about like smoking weed. But I stole this from Pete Davidson is a shitty joke. That sucks. Do something. My koozies say my other drink is Ryan O'Flanagan's yummy little ass. That's great merch. Koozies are not as good as lighters though. Everyone wants a lighter. Not everyone, but more people want a lighter than want a koozie. I know that koozies suck. A lot of people don't even know what koozies are. People go, what is this? Are you how stupid are you? You put it on your drink. I think it's best to identify your drink when you're at a party because I keep putting a drink down and then whose is whose. Find the koozie. But it also keeps your hand from getting wet and it's an insulator. It keeps your drink cooler for longer. So that's what a koozie is. You fucking idiot. But you can't say koozie because koozie is I got in trouble for saying koozie on Etsy. Koozie is a trademarked term. You got to use can cooler or can sleeve. Koozie is like Kleenex. A word that, and also another one that I just learned, chapstick. That's the brand. Never thought about that. It's a lip balm. Chapstick is a type of lip balm. Anywho. But yeah, that merch sucks. But Pete's great. Then the next day I go to fucking, oh my God, Bristol, Tennessee. Odd place. Just not a whole lot around, but a great little town. It's a town on the border of Tennessee and Virginia. And my hotel was 20 miles away because all the hotels in town were full because there was a race. It's at Bristol Motor Speedway is in Bristol. And there was an event all weekend at the Thunder Valley Regionals. The National Hot Rod Association Thunder Valley Regionals were that weekend. I remember that because I tried to do a joke about it, and I wasn't funny. And those are the jokes I remember, and I play them over and over in my head, and they wake me up at night. Keep me up at night is what is the phrase, but not me. I go to sleep easily, but then they wake me up. That's worse. That's scarier. That seems like it's like a demon. But the show was cool. It was cool. And there's just, dude, all the other comics had to drive from like at least half an hour to, and one guy an hour away because everything's so far apart out there in Tennessee. And what's interesting about that town is that State Street, which is the main street in town, it's a really cool street with bars and restaurants and little shops. And the middle of the street is the state divide between Tennessee and Virginia. So you can stand in 2 states at once. And it's funny because weed is legal in Virginia, but not in Tennessee. So the Virginia side has all these dispensaries. Not all these dispensaries. It has dispensaries. And the Tennessee side cannot. And it's just a bunch of CBD stores. And the people in the CBD stores are just looking across the street like, fuck. Ain't nobody coming in. God, I need some CBD so bad. God, I need CBD. That kind of fake thing. Hey, yeah, it calms you down. Okay. Anyway, I said. I'm just thinking about girls. Anyway, do that show. Still no suitcase. Still no koozies to be sold. I've at this point gone to another Target and bought a bunch of new shit. I know that I'm not going to get my suitcase back, probably. I'm emailing Spirit. I am calling Spirit at Orlando Airport. I am calling Spirit headquarters. I am emailing. I am filling out little claims and trying to get a chat going online. Because what I think is happening at this point is that my bag is just in Orlando with Diane's tag, and they are looking at that tag, and they're going, that's Diane Arnold. And they're probably calling Diane Arnold, and they're like, you lost your bag. And she's probably like, no, I didn't. Or something. Either way, they're not sending me my bag. And I'm telling them, like, please, get me on the phone with someone who's in Orlando Airport and can go just look for my bag, please. I think it's in Orlando Airport because I have this receipt. And I didn't save the receipt, by the way. I gave it to the British black woman in Charlotte. I was like, just in case Diane Arnold is looking and shows up. That didn't make any sense looking back. It took me a minute to understand what was happening. It took me like a couple days. So I knew that it said Diane, so I'm calling Spirit and I'm like, it's a woman named Diane, I think. Diane or Diana. They're just not finding my bag. And every day they send me an email, an auto-generated email. Have not found your bag yet. And as the days would go on, the email subject lines would get more sarcastic and snarky. One of them just goes, not yet, exclamation point. An email from Spirit Airlines just goes, not yet. And you open it and it's like, still haven't found your bag, but we're going to keep looking. Ugh. And I'm buying more shit from Target, saving my receipts, taking pictures of my receipts. I've never worn my Jordans yet because now I'm thinking, if I'm not really a shoe guy anyway, so I'm just going to go back to Charlotte when I return this car and I'll just return these Jordans. I like them. I should treat myself to some Jordans, I know. But I'm not a shoe guy. I'd rather have $140. So I'm getting reimbursed. Just give me $140, and I'd rather spend that on something else. I have shoes. I don't need, like, cool shoes. Anyway. Go from Tennessee. Now, in the midst of all these calls, I got one more show in Asheville. One more headlining show. Really looking forward. This is the show I built this whole tour around. Because Melissa was the first person to reach out. Bless her. Thank her for her. Go see Model Face comedy shows if you're in the Asheville, North Carolina area. I go there. Killer show. Oh, this show was so great. And Asheville is such a cool town, nestled in the Smoky Mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Yeah, that's a different. I don't know if that's a different thing. It's definitely the Blue Ridge Mountains. I don't know if the Smoky Mountains are different than the Blue Ridge Mountains or if they're a type of Blue Ridge Mountain. But it's definitely the Blue Ridge Mountains or maybe the Smoky Mountains. But anyway, it's nestled in there, wherever it is. And I go. It's where the biggest house in America is. It's called the Biltmore Estate. George Vanderbilt built it. And I went to go see it when I first got to Asheville. And they were like, there's like a little welcome area. And I was just going to go, just walk around the grounds, maybe go in, check it out. And there's like you reach a sign that says no tickets only beyond this point. And then there's the welcome center. And I'm like, oh, I got to buy a ticket just to get in? I go, all right. I don't want to spend that much time here. So if it's more than like, I wanted to go see if I can get any like material for the show. And I went and I go into the welcome center. And I go, if it's more than like $20, I'm not going to go in. I'll just say, forget it. I don't need to see a big house that bad. Even the biggest house in the whole United States. I don't need to see it that bad. And I go to the counter, and guess how much a ticket is to drive your car in, just to get to even just see the Biltmore Estate? $140. I was like, that's not. It said like Adult, single day, $140. I'm like, I can't be reading that right. That has to be a season pass or something. But no, there is also a season pass for $440. So you have to go to the Biltmore 4 times. What the fuck? It's just a big house. Are they still recouping some losses on the Biltmore estate? Anyway, so I don't go see the Biltmore estate, obviously. But I went to lunch with my friend Sarah from college. Hi, Sarah. Love you. And then I went to the show. Great show. And I'm going on and on about how I lost my bag. This was my last show, so I was ready to fucking turn up. Get drunk at the show. Get drunk as hell afterwards in Asheville. Cool-ass town. And I'm so pissed off about this fucking suitcase thing. I'm angry and excited for the finale and blah, blah, blah. Do the show. Talking about my koozies. And then halfway through the show, I finally look down. My eyes adjust to the people in the front row. And there's 2 guys with my koozies on their beers. And they bought them on Etsy. Super fans. I said, holy shit. I hold them up. I go, this is what you could have had. I was so excited that these 2 guys had koozies. Then I look over here, and another girl has a koozie. Holy hell. I gotta stop looking over the front row. I gotta engage more. A little lesson. Ooh, ow. I kicked my table. I got so excited. And this girl that had the koozie, she's bought 2, or her boyfriend has bought 2 cameos from me. Super fan. I went out drinking with them. Went to a bar after. With these nice folks. So Asheville was great in that way. And then the next night I had a couple of LA friends doing a show in Asheville. Also booked through Model Face Comedy, so I just jumped on their show. Didn't do great. Sorry. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Audrey. I didn't do great, but they didn't deserve me to do great. They're fucking jerks. I'm just kidding. They're really good friends. But I certainly didn't do great. They did awesome. I didn't warm the crowd up much, but they seemed to not need it. Audrey and Jessica both did really well. And then the next day, the plan is I got to drive back to Charlotte. And, oh my God. So I'm over an hour, and I'm not really, I got more to say. This is like an hour and a half long. Shit, I'm so sorry. But fuck you. First podcast in life. I've done this in like a year. So the next day, me and the girls, we go to the zoo and whatever. We go to the zoo. We do like one of those trolley things that you like pedal on, drinking pub trolley thing around town. Pub tour. We didn't do go to any pubs. I thought we were going to like go to pubs and we didn't. We just stayed on the thing the whole time. Anyway, then they went and did another show, and I drove all the way back to Charlotte to return my car and or just stay in a hotel, and then the next day fly out of Charlotte after returning my car, after returning all of my shit, my Jordans and my fucking Best Buy laptop charger that I had to buy. I wanted to return that just in case I did find my bag at some point. And the plan is fly out of Charlotte, fly to fucking Orlando, and just see if they have my bag. I don't know what else to do at this point. And it's worth trying to... By the way, the people who said, oh, you brought it upon yourself flying Spirit Airlines. Oh, thank you. You're so smart. You're so smart. Oh, this is your own fault. You should have known better than to fly Spirit Airlines. Oh my God, you're so smart and good. What a jet setter you are. You're just a world traveler. You know so much. You know that Spirit's bad? Wow. I should have known that. I didn't know that. These jet setters, man. And just know that if you said that joke to me, you're one of only probably 23, 24 people that made that joke. So you're in good company and you're smart. You actually brought this upon yourself. Flying Spirit Airlines. Yeah. Sometimes a Spirit Airlines flight is literally $200 cheaper than the next cheapest flight. Straight up. Well, then why would you? Yeah, but you never. But they're so cheap because they're. Yeah, but I booked this whole tour myself. I'm not making a whole lot of money, honey. 3 of these shows I still haven't been paid for, by the way. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that works. I assume everyone was very nice. But yeah, so sometimes if it's $200 is a lot of money to be able to save. Of course, yes, I know Spirit fucking sucks, you idiot. You should have known. I did know, but I had to do it. If it's reasonably close, of course I'm not gonna fucking fly Spirit, you jackass. This is your own fault. You're a fucking dork. Sorry. But come on. You're so smart. Oh my god, you know so much about travel. Oh, you Anthony Bourdain ass motherfucker. I know that Spirit's not good. I'm gonna message you and say that while you're in the most frustrating time of your life. Ugh. Anyway, if you said that, you're a dork. But anyway, I get to so I go to Charlotte. I stay in the worst hotel I've ever stayed at. That is my fault. That one is my fault. But you gotta save a buck. But next, it was gross, and there was a lot of bugs. I'm not gonna say what kind of bugs, but there's cockroaches. And I tried to get a refund. I'll keep you posted. I don't want to name names. Yeah, I do. It's the extended stay suites or something by the airport. That place is riddled with cockroaches. By Charlotte Airport. Then the next day I wake up early, covered in cockroaches. Nah, I wasn't really. I actually somehow slept, even though there was cockroaches everywhere. I go return my shit to Best Buy, return my shoes. I return my rental car, and then I go to the airport just to fucking fly to Orlando and just see. I don't know what else to do. I gotta just see if they have my bag. I really want my bag. I just bought that bag. I really liked the bag, too, aside from everything in it. Also, it had all my cash in it from all my koozie sales that I had made. So it was like $400 cash, too. So the koozies that I had even sold, I couldn't lose also all the cash that I had made from those. So I really want this bag, so I'm just going to fly to Orlando. Go to Charlotte Airport. I figure while I'm here, let me go to the luggage office in Spirit and see if maybe my bag somehow arrived and they never told me. I don't know. Let me just go talk to a person. And I go to the office. Remember, the office was closed. Remember I mentioned about 50 minutes ago? The office was closed. Now it was open. There's a woman in there. You're not going to believe this. Not helpful. Just not a helpful woman. She points at the wall and goes, there's a phone number to contact Spirit Baggage. Like, yeah, ma'am. How about, can I talk to you? She goes, I tell her the situation. She goes, well, did you talk to Baltimore Airport? I'm like, no, I didn't talk to Baltimore. My bag flew to Orlando. It's not Baltimore. What are you talking about? She goes, you should call Baltimore. You should see if they have any insight. I go, can you call Baltimore? You work for Spirit Airlines. You probably have more of an in at Baltimore Airport than me. She goes, no, I don't have their number. Oh. Tight. Word. Heard. Preach. I totally get that. I go, how, pray tell, would I get their number? She goes, oh, I would just Google it. Ah, smart. God, I don't know how they find such smart people to work at Spirit Airlines. I also hate that it's Spirit. You know, such a hacky airline to shit on. When a comic starts talking about Spirit Airlines, I flew Spirit Airlines yesterday. I'm like, shut up. Yeah, Spirit sucks, we know. But now that I've had this experience, I will stop at nothing to bring Spirit Airlines to the ground. Bring those planes down for a landing. So I'm telling her my situation. I'm like, no, I was like, yeah, I don't think you're understanding. Like, I think my bag has a woman's, I had to like speak really slowly, like she spoke another language. And then I had like a breakthrough with her. I go, I'm pretty sure when I got my receipt, it had Diane something on it. I believe that Diane's tag was put on my bag, flown to Orlando, because her final destination was Orlando. And I think it just was spinning around the carousel in Orlando and never got claimed. But they don't know that it's my bag because it doesn't have my name on the Spirit Airlines tag. That's what's happening. Please help me. She's looking through all her fucking mess. Oh my God, her desk in her office is a fucking shit show mess. She's going through all the receipts and shit. She goes, I don't see any Diane here. Who did you give the receipt to? And I had to tell her it was this black British woman. And this woman that I'm talking to right now, black woman. But I had to just say it. She was a British black woman. That's how I phrased it. I said British first. That's more important. And she goes, oh, that's Miss Laura. I'll call her when she gets in at 2. It's fucking noon. I gotta get on this plane. And so she tells me, she goes, how long ago was that? I was like, this was 8 days ago. She goes, well, she's clickety-clacking. Well, on her computer, not just clickety-clacking in the air or with her knuckles. She's clickety-clacking on her computer. She's probably just playing solitaire. She goes, well, if it's been more than 5 days, your luggage isn't at the airport. It gets sent to a warehouse in Atlanta. I said, what? So my bag is for sure not at an airport. It's at a warehouse in Atlanta. She goes, yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah. If a bag doesn't get claimed for 5 days, it gets sent to a warehouse in Atlanta. I said, well, lady, you're not going to believe this, but the only reason I'm at this airport right now is because I bought a flight to Orlando that I paid for myself because Spirit's not helping me. I paid for myself just to go to the airport and see if my bag is there. And it's probably not. But now you're telling me that that if my bag was there, it's now in Atlanta, so you're telling me I shouldn't get on this plane? And she goes, don't get on this plane. Don't get on that plane. It's a waste of a flight, she says. It's just a waste of a flight. I say, fuck. I bought the flight already. Now you're telling me it's not in Orlando for sure? Because it's been 8 days. She goes, I'll call you if I have any updates. I'll look into it and I'll call you. In the meantime, call Spirit. Points at the wall, goes, call that number on the wall. So I do, and the number on the wall is to Atlanta. Or at least someone that has contact with Atlanta. I think it is Atlanta. And so I call them, and they don't have my suitcase. They go, nothing has come in with your name on it. I go, I know, because it doesn't have my fucking name on it. It has some lady named Diane or Diana. We don't have that. Nothing's been called in. And I go, but my fucking luggage tag that I bought myself is on it, and that has my name. And they go, yeah, we're even that. If we see that, we'll call you. We have it. Well, no, that bag hasn't come in. I go, okay, all right. So they don't have it in Atlanta. So I try to cancel my Orlando hotel that I bought. This time I got a nice hotel. I got a Best Western because I stayed with cockroaches the night before. So I got a nice hotel with like a breakfast that had like eggs and like a nice place. And continental breakfast with eggs and sausage. You know what's up. Heated stuff. The heated stuff. I try to cancel it. Can't cancel it. No refunds. I can cancel it, but no refunds. So I'm like, well, I already paid for the hotel. Can't get a refund. Can't cancel the flight because it's in like an hour, 2 hours. Honestly, the cheapest thing to do at this point is to just go to Orlando. I already paid for it. It's cheaper than finding a new hotel in Charlotte. It's doing that. I already have a hotel paid for waiting for me in Orlando. And I might as well go fucking see if my bag is there. And this woman never called me, the baggage woman, so I said, fuck it. I'm getting on that goddamn plane and I'm going to Orlando and I'm just going to see. And if they don't have it, well, whatever. I'll go to Orlando for a night and stay in like a Best Western. Good for me. Who gives a shit? Then I'm just going to go back to LA and start a whole new life. Call my neighbors and go, hey, can someone let me in? Because I don't have my keys. My keys are actually gone. My bag has disappeared. So I get on that plane and I go to Orlando. I had bought a tiny little duffel bag in the meantime for like my little Target roundup. Tiny little Adidas bag. It was so cute. It was a purse. I essentially had a purse for the last like 6 days. I bought a nice little Adidas purse. So I'm on the plane with my little purse with my stuff in it. And I get to Orlando. God-awful airport, god-awful town, god-awful airline. Walk through the airport, go to baggage claim. I come down the escalator, and I see the Spirit Airlines. There's like a few, there's a few carousels, and I walk right over. I see Spirit Airlines, baggage assistance, and I see a few bags, maybe 10 or 12 bags tucked into a corner, and I see my fucking bag in the corner collecting dust with obviously my luggage tag on it, with as the phases of the moon and mountains, and it's pink and purple. And I went, holy shit, out loud. I was so fucking happy and still so angry. And I ran over it, and it's blocked by a walker. Like an old person's walker is in front of mine, lost. Not like some woman had put it there who was needing it. It was in the lost luggage. And I fucking hurl it aside, and I go to grab my bag, and some fucking idiot from Spirit Airlines, some woman from Spirit Airlines comes running over going, "Sir, that's not yours. That's not yours." I said, "You're not gonna believe this, but it is mine. And it's been here for 8 fucking days." And I don't swear, like, for people, I don't raise my voice at customer service or anything, but I am fucking, like, swearing. And I'm going, it's been here for 8 fucking days. And it has my thing on it, my luggage tag, and I'm opening it and I'm showing her, and I go, it has my information. Why would you not call me? It's been sitting here for 8 fucking days, and it has my information, and I've been calling Spirit every day, and sometimes getting through, sometimes not getting through. No one at the baggage office in Spirit ever answered. It would send me to a voicemail, like a guy's voicemail. When I called Spirit Airlines baggage in Orlando Airport, it was reaching, and if I had gotten through to someone, I could have said, go check the bags that are tucked away in a corner lost, and see if any of them have a tag on it that has the phases of the moon, and if you look in it, that's my information. Send me my fucking bag. What is the point of having one of those? That's the whole point of having one of those, is if your bag gets fucking lost. It's not if it's on the carousel, people are going to go and see, oh, whoops, nope, that's not me. Who's looking at bags and realizing it's not theirs? How fucking dumb are you? I see people do that sometimes. At the carousel, they'll look at a bag and then look at the tag and go, oh, not mine. You don't know exactly what your bag looks like, you fucking idiot? Oh, that's not my bag that I'm with when I travel. What are you... Anyway, that's what it's for. I was flabbergasted and just like, I kept my cool. I was very relieved and happy. So she goes and grabs the tag to test and make sure that it's me. And she goes, okay, what's your phone number? Oh! Now you want to look inside my little luggage tag thing? You fucking idiot, bitch. How bad are you at your job? Look at the lost bags. And every owner of every one of these bags is going through such hell right now. Their lives have been turned upside down because of your negligence. It should be priority. I gotta fight for this. This has to be airline baggage rule number 1. Look at the bags that are lost and see if there's a tag on them that has that person's information and reach out. Or look up their name and see if they were on the flight and try to figure something out. But fucking reach out, please. What else is the point of having one of those? You shitty airline. I don't care that Spirit charges a lot for water. Oh, they charge for everything. They charge for chips. Spirit sucks. I don't care. It's cheap. Spirit, their seats are uncomfortable and they don't recline and they don't have TVs. I don't care. It's cheap. It's good for a flight from fucking Baltimore to Charlotte through Orlando. It's absolutely worth it to me to be on a shitty plane. I don't care that it's a shitty plane. I don't care that the people that work there are rude. I don't care. It's $200 cheaper. I don't give a shit. I stay in hotels with cockroaches. I don't splurge on myself when I travel. I'm getting from place to place as cheaply and efficiently as I can without dying. I don't care about that. I care. And lost bags happen. I've actually lost a suitcase before, and they sent it to me the next day. They lost it. They fucked up. It was like I had to use a different airline because one flight got canceled, and my bag still made it. Some shit like that. I don't know what happened, but it's happened to me before, and that happens. But what doesn't happen, I guess it does, is a bag gets lost, and they just never call. They never would have sent me my bag. I say 8 days. But that's because I went to the fucking airport and found it myself on the 8th day. But they never would have sent me that bag. Like, when would they have realized, oh, you know what we should do? No. But they also said after 5 days they send to Atlanta, and it wasn't in Atlanta. So that was, I guess, a lie. Man, I don't know. But I was fucking freaking out. And there's like more people that have questions for this woman. So I'm asking her, why would you not call me? It was so sad. I was like, why would you not call me or email me? My information is here. And she goes, we go off the information on the printed tag, sir. You do? Oh, you do? So I get my bag. I'm so happy. I hope Diane got her bag. I assume she did. Because I think if they put my tag on her bag, they would have called me with her lost baggage. Because that has my information, I think. I don't know. Maybe her bag went to fucking Charlotte with my shit on it. Yeah, I guess they never would have. Oh my God. Oh, it was sweat. Wow, I am burning up. I thought it was another bug. Now I'm talking about bugs. I'm just dripping sweat. I closed my window to record this. And I'm on an hour and 22 minutes. Fuck you guys. Keep on listening, bitches. Oh, you like my podcast? Yeah, well, fuck you. Now you're stuck listening for an hour and a half. I get my bag. I'm so fucking happy, dude. I got my bag, but also so fucking pissed. Fuck those people. Fuck Spirit Airlines. And then I stayed at the Best Western. And then I had to spend the night in Orlando. So I went to a bar right next to the hotel. And I met a guy named the White Rasta. His name was Matt. But he was named the White Rasta, I believe, because he was going to Jamaica at 6 a.m. And we got hammered together. Check out my Instagram. This guy he claimed that he could identify any song within 5 seconds. And in his defense, he did it like 3 times in a row. I think. I believed him. And then I started recording him, and we were getting drunker and drunker. And he kept just not being able to do it. It's a really funny video. Check it out. So it was the whole thing was worth it to meet the White Rasta. And then I fucking went to New York because a short film that I had the honor of being in premiered at Tribeca. Check it out. It's called Somewhere in Between. Directed and produced by Kyle Forbach and John Horan, and starring me and John Horan and Taylor Mishak. So, check that out. And then by the way, for full circle, this is the last thing of consequence that happened, but on my flight to New York, and I only went to New York, I bought the flight in Orlando because I had my bag and I was so happy. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to go to New York and celebrate my short film with my friends and go out in New York and really celebrate getting my suitcase back. The short film was great, and the screening went great, but I was really, really happy about the suitcase. But on my flight up there was a little bit of turbulence, and the woman next to me on the plane was viciously hurling. Not to the throwing up, I don't know why I said hurling. I haven't said hurling since like 5th grade. She was puking, throwing up. My God, dude, this poor lady was throwing up so much, but she was doing it, she wasn't yelling like the guy on the Block Island Ferry. But that's what sail away on the Block Island Ferry. By the way, that's their commercial. Growing up there, I would see commercials. Sail away on the Block Island Ferry. This like Caribbean music to go to an island off the coast of Rhode Island. Now I gotta wash this shirt. This is one of the shirts I bought, by the way. And these pants are clothes that I had to buy. At least I got a new wardrobe out of it. So, because I got all my shit back, and now I'm getting reimbursed for all this other shit that I bought. So that's the one good thing about this. And meeting the White Rasta. But anyway, the woman on the plane next to me was throwing up so much on just like a little bit of turbulence. But it was as we were coming down, like we started our initial descent. We'll land in half an hour, and then she starts throwing up, and she can't get up and leave and throw out her bag of vomit, and it was a lot of vomit, and she has to just sit there holding her bag of vomit for like half an hour. Yuck. So full circle is why I brought that up. My trip started with a crazy bunch of vomiting, and ended with a crazy bunch of vomiting, and in between, just a bunch of fucking emotional vomiting. But it was a nice purge to get all those emotions, the highs and the lows of the June joke Jamboree. Joke didn't make any sense, but you get it. The Jamboree's over. The jokes are done. I'm not saying any more stuff that makes sense. Really didn't, even on the tour. Boy, did I get drunk every single night. So that was the June joke Jamboree. Featuring the Spirit Airlines story. Fuck that airline. Thank you so much to everyone who came to any of my shows. I met some really cool people and fans and Dead Kevin fans and shit like that. So that's so cool that people would come to that. Dude, there's a bunch of Dead Kevin fans at the Pete Davidson show. As Pete Davidson was in the other room, and these poor folks are watching me do my not good jokes. So it made me feel good. The trip made me feel good about myself and like my comedy, and and I needed that. I've been going through a weird time, a weird crossroads, as I mentioned, and I really needed this trip, and like career-wise, or just like, I guess just emotionally or confidence-wise, but not really career-wise. I didn't make a lot of money, and I didn't do that great, but I met some really cool people, and so I'm trying to do more like touring this year, and I'm trying to do like a little West Coast run in August. If you live on the West Coast, if you know anyone who has a venue, I want to go all the way up to like Seattle and San Francisco and stuff like that. If you have or were willing to put together a show and pay me like a little bit and like put me up a little bit, I would love to do a little run in August as my goal. And then in October, I'm doing like a big one, like kind of a middle America, Kansas, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio even, Michigan, I don't know, shit like that. Hit me up if you're in any of those areas for a little October run. So yeah, getting more touring going this year. That's the latest on me. Nothing else. I'm so happy to be back in LA, and what a time it was, and what a time this podcast was. I'm looking at an hour 28 right now. Thank you guys so much for listening to my longest story I've ever told in my life. The June Joke Jamboree. And we'll see if I can't think of a nice, fun little word alliteration for my next tours. But thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. See you guys at episode, whatever it is, 9. I don't know. All right. Goodbye.